What's up YouTube? Barcode here. Today I'm bringing you another Heir of Light video. Today's video is going to be about PvP team comps that top players use and how to beat them. Just want to point out again, like I did in a different video, I'm going to be streaming Rush Hour at midnight Central Time, which is 11 Eastern and it's 10 Pacific. So if you want to join, please be my guest. I'm gonna chat with you guys and go through as many tickets as I can to try to get at least top 3, which I think I can do, but it is fun. It's fun to watch and it's fun to mingle with you guys in the chat. So I think the first time it was a test stream for me. There's like 13 people with no notice or anything, so if you want to jump in, it'd be awesome. It's just going to be on YouTube. If I get a good audience, I might start doing Twitch just for fun, obviously, because this will be the first time I'm doing Twitch or any type of streaming. So please join up, it'll be fun. So today I'm just going to bring out what team comps and what to bring towards them. I'll kind of go through my PvP opponent list or PvP log and just show you some teams that way. So first, let's just start out with Psychopuff. So I kind of showcased his defense last time. And what it is Ishmael, who's super tanky, Dark Helia, which is OP unit, passive ignores defense on normal attacks, and also she's a speed nuke on her ultimate, so you kind of want to build her like eruption, speed, attack. No really crit rate. You get crit rate in subs, so that's just a plus for her normal skills to hit really hard. But you know, she's a speed nuke. Every single skill except for her first is speed based. So, and then there's Fire Lido, which is OP monster as well. Level 5 defense break again, increases her own attack. Her passive is great. Its attack is increased by 50% when HP is at 100%. So if you put her on Vampire and put her in the back line, most of the time she'll have that extra passive for attack. So it's a good defensive unit to have. Plus her skills, I forget which one, but it actually cleaves. So if you bring melee towards it, the potential to get one shot of your melee if it doesn't have high health is pretty high. But even so, as the fight goes on, and if you don't bring a healer, then of course you could die on the second cleave, so for the melee anyway. And then you have Dark Helia just non-stop hitting the tank, and it's a hard defense, 2 OP DPS units to use. So for me, how I would treat this is actually bringing a speed nuke for to kill the tank. So I would bring like Dark Lucian. It has to be a range, so Fire Lido doesn't cleave my melee down, and I'm not going to bring a healer towards this. So that's my main goal with her, is to kill Ishmael as quick as possible. However, with this team, what you want to do is try to one-shot the Fire Lido first. Now, I don't have my water nuker built all the way. He's only 5-star. I'm gonna see if I can actually one-shot her yet. I don't think I can. His stats are okay. I have him slow, and this is, I'm mainly building Water Hopkins to one-shot DPS fire units that don't have a fire tank in front of them. If they don't have a fire tank in front of them, so like with this instance, it's Ishmael, who's dark, and a Dark Helia. So if I bring a light DPS monster and I try to one-shot Dark Helia on the first turn, I can't, because Dark Ishmael is in the front line and will always take that first hit. Now, their Fire Lido is left wide open and there's no fire tank in front, so the only thing I could do is actually one-shot the Fire Lido. Now, I expect to actually lose this because my Water Hopkins is not 6-starred. He doesn't have max skills. I don't know how hard he's going to hit. HP is about doubled in PvP. I know he's sitting around, I think like 15,000, so it's got to hit for like 30k at the least. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that, but I'm going to show you this is what I would take typically. If you have a 6-star unit and you always want to have like a speed nuke, and then you want to have like a slow one-shot capable DPS of every element, and that's to prolong your fights and to go against any scenario you can see. So I'm actually going to try to one-shot her, but I don't think I will. Nope, 15,000. So it's not enough. So now what I need to do is just try to kill Ishmael as quick as possible. But you see the problem here is Dark Helia is just doing work to Ishmael. And she's just so good to have. And I can't with that because it's not ignore defense. So Ishmael's dead, and my Ishmael's dead. Her Ishmael's not dead. 181,000. She's just so good. But yeah, see, if I would have been able to one-shot the Fire Lido, it would have been less DPS on Ishmael. Ishmael could possibly be alive, and maybe my 2 DPS units could have taken the rest, but that's typically what you want to bring in that type of defense, is to one-shot the DPS who is not protected by a tank. Second defense we can go over is Terrorblade. So Terrorblade brings a 2 tank and 1 ignore defense speed nuke. Okay, so what you have to do here is, the only real threat to this PvP comp is actually Fire Zeta. So what you can either do is you bring your speed nuke, which in my case I'm going to bring Dark Wiggly. And then you can do 2 things from here. One, you can bring a secondary tank to be able to taunt right before Zeta does his ultimate, so that Ishmael doesn't die and you can still use ultimates. And for this instance, like Fire Heidi would be great in this situation. However, everybody might know Fire Heidi's passive, where you can only take 30% off of the HP on single hits. Now, the pay-to-win factor to this game is the avatar. So the avatar for Zeta makes his ignore defense hit 4 times. So that's a problem for Fire ID. So if it's a regular Fire Zeta with no avatar, this comp would work perfect. I would, do a shield with Ishmael, attack buff for Zeta, then I would taunt for Fire ID right before his ultimate. Fire Zeta would ult, hit him for only 30% of the health, and then I'd profit here. Another thing to note is he has 2 tanks, so you need to make sure to at least kill the 1 tank on your first combo, and with Dark Wiggly he will do that. To note as well, his water executioner is a speed water executioner to get this ult off of resilience to all allies. Max skill, it's 30 seconds. So with resilience, no one can die unless that buff is stripped. So if your speed nuke is not faster than that water executioner, then he will get the buff off, and then you won't be able to kill anybody unless you do have a stripper on your team. A stripper meaning stripping the debuffs. Okay. So the second option you can take is actually a res. So what I want to do here is I'm going to combo first, because I know my Dark Wiggly is faster than Fire Zeta, his Fire Zeta. So I would ultimate, do the combo, kill one of the tanks, which it's usually always Water Executioner. I think he might have the taunt on Ishmael too, but every time I attack this, it's always on Water Executioner. But it doesn't matter. I either kill Water Executioner or I kill Ishmael. If I kill Ishmael, he can't combo, and Fire Zeta can't either, so it's pretty much GG from there. If I kill Water Executioner first, Zeta does his combo on Ishmael, kills Ishmael, and then I res Ishmael. So that is what I'm going to do, and I'll show you that way. So that's 2 different ways you could do it. If it was a regular Fire Zeta, I would just bring Fire ID just for more safe team. Sometimes when you bring a reser and you res, they can actually, it's only 50% health, so if they get lucky with an armor break, you can actually, Ishmael can die before this Dark Wiggly's ultimate comes up again. So he did get first turn, which is not cool. I wonder if he actually was able to increase his speed on Water Executioner. Yes, he did. Okay. So, Terrorblade actually buffed up his Executioner here, speed. So, what I need to do next time is mess with the global cooldowns. And I can do that pretty easily. Now, luckily, I attacked Ishmael first. So, when the resilience buff goes down, I should be okay. Oh, that fire Zeta actually is a normal Zeta, I think. Alright. Come on. Let's see if I can kill Ishmael here. Oh, I will, right here. Or not. Okay. Alright. I need to kill Ishmael. There we go. Alright, so it's still GG here. That was a little scary because he did buff up his Water Executioner speed, it seems like. So that's a pretty fast Water Executioner, especially since the base speed is pretty low. So that's kind of how you defeat that. I can show you another way to actually manipulate the global cooldown. So as you know, every global cooldown you use, you have to wait for the time to come back up. If you say you use one skill and then you just click the combo, even at max global cooldown, if the combo isn't ready, it's still time-wise, you could use it midway through the second combo. I mean, it's the second global cooldown. It's kind of hard to explain, but hopefully I can try to explain that in this situation. Let me see. Okay, so let's go with Panic. He ranked 2. He's also running the exact same comp. So I will just do the same thing. Is this a normal? I thought that was the... You know, I'm thinking the last Fire Zeta with Terrorblades, he didn't change the avatar skill maybe? Or he changed it back to the normal one. But, okay. But I will explain how to manipulate the global cooldown here. I'm going to use the same team. I'm facing the same comp pretty much. I don't know if Panic's Water Executioner is faster or not. However, I will explain the global cooldown. So, typically, if you use a skill on every global cooldown, my Dark Wiggly would be on the 4th global cooldown. However, I'm gonna make it so that it's like in the 3rd and a half. So as you see here, the combo's not up yet. I could use a skill here, but I manipulated it so that the global cooldown is up when my combo is completely at 100%. And literally, if I would have used the skill right before that, I would have not been able to combo that quick. So now it's just rinse and repeat from here. I'm gonna res Ishmael after being ignored defense and dead, and then I res back up, and now I just need to kill Ishmael. So that's how I treat these kind of double tank and speed nuke ignore defense comps. It's pretty typical in the top 10, top 20 to see that. And that's kind of how I bring to it. It's mainly the res. If it's a regular Fire Zeta with no avatar, then I will bring that comp. Just the Fire Heidi, Ishmael, and Dark Wiggly. So let's see what other teams I can kind of explain for team comps. If I don't have any on my list, then I will just go ahead and go down the ranks and see what they're running. Let's see. Okay, Psychopath again. We'll just do Rauk. He's rank 12. Let's see what they're doing. Okay, so this is a pretty typical build too. It's like an all-element comp. It's all water. So what happens here is Segheed has the PvP passive for health and attack, and then you bring a speed nuke for Water Zeta to try to kill everybody here. So what you need to bring here is either like a full forest team, which works, except ignore defense doesn't glance. It can glance, but from what I've heard, I've never seen it glance. So I mean, whatever. But you could bring all forests and try to do it that way, or you can bring the same kind of team comp, a Rezer or someone to block the combo from Ishmael, so you can ult again. And that's what I'm going to do this time. What I want to show you is Fire ID. So his passive, this is a regular normal Zeta, so he's only going to hit one big ignore defense ult. So I'm going to show you what I do in this type of team. Now all water is going to be attacking my Fire ID, so even if my Fire ID dies, I still have Ishmael and I can rinse and repeat the same ignore defense comp, which is fine. So what I will do here is, since it's all water, I'm just going to buff my Fire ID, because with defense, I'm going to ultimate here. Attack buff the Dark Wiggly and my whole team, which benefits Fire ID too, because I have him on ult Vampire right now. I'm going to taunt right here before his Zeta can go. It's a 20-second taunt, so Water Zeta should be hitting him. If not, then it's pretty much a slow Zeta in the terms of the top 20. So there, I killed the Water Camille. Okay. Now I'm just gonna take down whoever I can first. So Fire ID's taunt is off, but so here, Water Zeta still got the ult off. He's only gonna do 30% of his health, and I'm still alive. So Fire ID, great servant, great tank to have, in the terms of being able to take multiple hits and not dying from ignore defense on the one shot. Like I said, the avatars kind of, for Zeta anyway, kind of alleviate that issue. So it's a nice pay to win factor against Fire ID, which is a coincidence. Fire ID and avatars came out for Zeta at the same time, maybe, but who knows. Let's see what else I can get here. Let's go with rank 19 Isle. He's a guildie of mine. He used Fire Rem, Fire Bajorn, and Water Lucian. Water Lucian is an OP unit. Her skill cleaves as well, which is the first skill. It's a level 5 defense break. So it I say cleave, some people say pierce, but it's just a straight shot area of effect. Whoever's in that area will get hit, and that's what she does. If you bring melee to it, she can practically almost one-shot any melee with low health. So it's just hard to add. So you can't bring melee to it unless you bring a healer. And you know, I might actually do that. But so Fire Bajorn, again, the fire passive in his skills with Fire Rem. Fire Rem is high health, you know, reflects damage. It doesn't reflect much, but you know, this could be a problem later, you know, when Water Lucian is cleaving everyone and killing everyone, and then the reflect damage from her skill actually kills them. So so yeah, I mean, his passive doesn't really help anyone in this situation because he doesn't bring a healer. But yeah, I mean, Water Lucian is the main issue here. So what you can do again is you can double tank it like this, so that when she does ult and use her combo, when I say ult, I mean like ultimate, you know, I'm just used to different games. So when she uses her combo, Fire Heidi should be able to survive because it's just a one hit, one shot combo. And then I can bring just another nuker, and that's kind of what I'll try to do here. So I'm going to check the speed of Water Lucian during it. If it's a fast Water Lucian, I'm going to have to taunt probably before I use the combo, but we shall see. Oh, I need more PvP tickets. I'll buy some, whatever. Okay, so I want to get Dark Lucian's combo up as soon as possible, and I want the skill gauge to go up when she crits, so I will do that. And do this, and I should be able to kill Fire Rem with the combo. Water Lucian isn't too fast, so I'm not worried about the combo. That's why I love Dark Lucian. If I can get her to crit, if the combo procs her passive, sorry, if her passive procs, it's only 80% of the time. She can do a combo on the third global cooldown, which is extremely fast speed wise. I mean, you probably have to get like 250 speed just to be able to combo off of the third global cooldown. So so that's pretty much about that. Sorry, Isle, just had to. All right, let's see if I can reset one more time. I cannot. Let's see who else I can hit on here. We'll go with Baylor Club. So Baylor Club's rank 10. He's running Ishmael. So this is a 2 DPS type of comp. The thing here is once you kill Ishmael, it's game over. Okay, because Farzita won't be able to combo, Water Lucian won't be able to combo. So what you really want to do is bring a speed nuke. The problem with this team is it's Water Lucian. You can't bring the typical Light Gretel speed nuke, the Dark Wiggly speed nuke, because even if I get my combo off and kill Ishmael, most likely Water Lucian is going to kill Dark Wiggly quickly. But what I can show you here is I will bring Dark Wiggly and kind of explain that cleave. But also, so I use Ishmael's Dark HP passive, and also, let me see here. Am I using the right? Okay, I want to use this. Yep. So I'm using the Dark HP passive. So Dark Wiggly has, let's see, I'd say 12,000 health. Okay, you double that in PvP, it's about 24,000 health in PvP. So Water Lucian doing 22,000 HP on a non-defensive broken monster is not likely the case. So I'm just going to do this, and then if not, then I might be okay still, just because I have Dark Lucian, but we'll see. I'm going to use the AoE glancing buff from Ishmael as well, so that maybe, you know, the enemy can even glance on Dark Wiggly. So that's kind of why I don't bring a taunt on this team. It's just all dark. Dark Ishmael is going to be taking the front of the brutes of the hits anyway. So I don't need a taunt. The only thing I miss is the defense buff, and it's not too much of a big deal. So so I used the glancing buff, the shield, Dark Wiggly attack buff up. The Farzita and Water Lucian are actually slow. So as you can see, the Dark Wiggly got a level 5 armor break, and it's because of that's first skill is a cleave. Luckily it glanced, so it didn't do too much damage. So so I had the 2 DPS comp that I brought, Dark Wiggly to kill Ishmael. Now the enemy team cannot combo, and I still have Ishmael up, so I can still combo. So it's kind of a win-win. As long as you kill Ishmael, you can pretty much take out any tank, you know, Ishmael 2 DPS team. So that's how I take care of that. So let's see what else I can get. I'll try to reset one more time. Maybe get some different players on the top. I just jumped up the rank too really quick. Did I? Oh, okay. Alright, let's reset. Alright, so we went over Psycho. Let's do Hybrid. Hybrid, okay. So Hybrid Fade. Now, this is a little bit different than the last two Ishmael 2 DPS defenses you have, because you have a speed lead now. And with the speed lead, if your overall speed is less, if your overall speed is more than the other teams on all 3 characters, you add up all the speed, take in a speed team passive too after the fact, you will get the first turn to use a skill. If their overall speed is more than yours, they're going to be using the first skill. There's a lot of debate whether it's random or not, but this was tested. Me and actually Hybrid, I think it was Hybrid, tested this, and this is what the outcome was. So they have a speed lead. What I really want to happen is I just need Dark Wiggly to go first and kill Ishmael. However, the problem here is Fire Lido. Fire Lido can kill my Dark Wiggly. Even if I take care of Ishmael first, I could still lose, just because of how much damage Fire Lido and Bella do. However, and you have to think about the speed lead too, so their overall speed is probably going to be high as well. So what I'm going to do here is actually I'm going to bring Water Lucian for speed lead, and I'm going to try to kill Ishmael as quick as I can. If my Ishmael gets defense broken, I'm going to cleanse it and heal over time for my team. But it just depends too. When Dark Lucian's passive doesn't proc, it kind of screws things up for me. It is an 80% chance. However, it sometimes doesn't proc, obviously, because it's only 80%. So let's try it here. I'm going to try to get an armor break on Ishmael. Skill gauge went up, which is nice. He did the defense buff, so it's going to be rough on me. So I didn't get that. I'm going to cleanse the defense buff and get a heal over time rolling. I got another defense buff. Defense break anyway, so that's going to hurt. So I need to kill Ishmael on this turn, but he's got a defense buff up and it doesn't do much damage. So now I'm kind of SOL here. However, I still might be able to do it. Bella is going to kill my Ishmael here. However, I'm going to kill his Ishmael with this. I do have a heal over time up, but Fire Lido hurts very much so, yes indeed. So that's going to be the problem here. If I can kill somebody else, but I can't. Okay, so that is the problem with this team. What I could do here is, because as you notice, Water Bella didn't the combo until about the 5th global cooldown. So what I can do here is use a 2 DPS team, and this 2 DPS team, I have it speed tuned so that Dark Wiggly will ultimate on the 4th turn and Dark Lucian will ultimate on the 5th turn. Ultimate combo. I keep saying ultimate, and I'm going to probably keep saying that because it's the ultimate skill that you want to use. The problem here that I could face is that Water Bella has the speed lead. If they get first hit, then I'm kind of SOL. But with this team, which he doesn't, so with this team I can actually use Ishmael's buffs to start out with to give him a little bit more survivability. But as you can see, he's already half health. And that's a problem. So I might still be able to one-shot Ishmael even though he has a shield up. It's only a level 3 attack buff, so we shall see. Alright, I still got him. So now I can combo, unless Ishmael dies. Yep, okay, so Ishmael is dead. However, I can't combo with Dark Lucian, but I should be okay. And there's that cleave. Dangerous. See? It's, you know, Fire Lido, man. In the descriptions of the skills, it doesn't say cleave or AoE, but as you saw on that hit, it went to 10% health practically. So once you get there, it's a couple auto attacks, and then it's on to the next person, and Fire Lido's done. I mean, your team is done by Fire Lido. So one thing you could do here, you could bring the Fire Nuke again. I mean, your Water Nuke again, and just one-shot Fire Lido, which that's why I'm trying to build up a Water Nuker, because Fire Lido is very prominent in PvP right now at the top. Fire Lido and Water A Lucian are top PvP defenses to have for melee. So what you can do here is bring a Reser or a secondary tank. And I'm just going to bring a Reser because I want Dark Wiggly's going to get cleaved, obviously, by Fire Lido. So I want, when I res Ishmael, I want her to obviously heal Dark Wiggly to full as well, and hopefully be able to take an extra hit. So that's what I'm going to do here. Now, the thing is here is my Dark Lucian was way faster than my Fire Lucian. So the overall speed could actually hurt me, and his team could actually go first now. And I think that is the case when I bring this. but I still win 99% of the time. This is the main team that I bring when I face hybrid. So let's see. See, Ishmael is getting ripped to shreds. And let's see. So I'm gonna start. I know Ishmael is gonna die soon, so I'm going to res him with Fire Lucian. Okay, so now I got Dark Wiggly up. Let's see if I can kill Water Bella. Boom. Okay. Problem here is I need to get an attack break on Fire Lido so that Dark Wiggly doesn't die. And the armor break is off of Dark Wiggly, so I feel safe and I don't have a problem this time. But it's still it's Fire Lido, Water Lucian are very scary to face in the top because the top has better runes and are easy to build crit damage. You pretty much get one shot, as you saw in that last video. Let's just look at some random arena teams just to see what you would face here. So this is a pretty, you know, the all element team. This is a little bit especially better because you're using Ishmael here. And there's no other elements to use, and you get the dark passive of attack, you get the HP buff. So with this team here, you need to kill Ishmael as soon as possible. Now Dark Merit, whatever you want to call him, he's a speed nuke, because not his combo, but his first skill and second skill are based off of speed. And he brings a speed lead as well, I believe, for a passive. Team passive. So, you know, he's obviously built for speed. Dark Gretel is an AoE and a heal block. So she could be dangerous if she's super fast as well. I would, like, if it was me, I would make Dark Gretel super fast to get the AoE armor break off, and then I would and then be able to ult with that Dark Merit second. So you just need to really just nuke down Dark Ishmael as quick as you can, and then the other team is, I mean, if they're not comboing, then, you know, they can't do anything else. So because they are nat 3s, obviously. So here's another team. So double DPS. What you can do here is one shot the Fire Zeta, or try to one shot the Water Rem on the first turn, or you just speed nuke the Ishmael, kill him first. Now, when I say speed nuke, you're probably going to want over at least 215 speed on a ignore defense or super hard hitting, you know, DPS that you have. Ignore defense is the best. They give you a free one, Fire Zeta. You know, you can get like Gretel in the mystery dungeons. The only problem with the free ones, you know, like Gretel, she's melee and could get cleaved. So that's the only problem with that. But once you take out Dark Ishmael, the team really isn't a problem. So you just need to have, you know, invest in a speed nuke to be able to beat these type of team comps. Let's bring up another one, Oron. So with this team, it's a multi-element, which is an issue, because I can just bring in Dark Lucian and one shot like Gretel in one turn, or I can bring in a Forest nuke, which the only Forest nuke I have is Forest Enoch right now. I'm working on that. So, but you can bring in a Forest nuke and kill Sahid, or, you know, you could do like a double tank DPS team. So if you kill Fire Ram and Light Gretel gets her ultimate off, the ultimate goes on the secondary tank and not your master Ishmael. So you can go about that way. Now, I talk about Ishmael a lot because he's great for PvP. I mean, he's just huge. But what if you don't use Ishmael? What if you use somebody else, like Sahid, or you know, whoever, you know, Maya, Bjorn, Ophelia, whatever the case may be? Then things change a little bit, because you're pretty much only going to bring one tank. at all times, because unless your Heir is built like super hard hitting, I mean like beast attack, crit damage attack with 150 crit damage, then you know your team won't be bringing too much to the table if you just have 2 tanks and then Heir. So you're pretty much bringing a tank and then you're bringing a secondary DPS. So if you don't use Ishmael, you use Heir and you bring like, you know, a Water Carmilla or something like that, your DPS, the secondary DPS that you bring, more than likely has to be a speed nuke, because speed is king in PvP right now. However, it doesn't have to be super fast, because, for example, if your tank is your front line and he's gonna die, if your tank dies on an Ishmael team, then you don't have combos unless you have a res. If your tank dies in a different master team, such as say Heir or Bjorn, you still have Heir, you still have the ability to use combos. So you either need to have a super fast nuke or a semi-fast nuke that can go maybe on the 4th or 5th global cooldown. So they ult, they kill your tank, and then right after your tank dies, you're able to all kill their tank. And depending on the team comps, I mean, you have 2 DPS and they might just have a DPS and a healer or something like that. You nuke you're able to nuke their DPS, and then it's just you 2 and a healer, and those times, you know, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna win that fight.